Hi everyone. Okay. Um, yo, if you can, please go vegetarian or vegan. Honestly, I mean, I know people say, oh, they need protein and all that nonsense. But yo, you can get protein through other sources as well. You don't have to eat like meat. Get what I'm saying? I mean, even if you eat eggs, right? You might be like, oh, but eggs, like, you're not actually killing animals. Yeah, but have you seen, like, the videos of, like, how they keep, like, chickens in tight little cages just for their eggs? Like, they keep, like, multiple chickens in tight little, like, cages, you know, for, like, the egg farming. Like, I'm sure, like, yeah, there might be like free range eggs where like the farmers don't keep their chickens in like tight little cages and all that. But like majority of like the eggs out there that you get, right, they come from like factory farming where they keep like multiple chickens in like tight little cages where they don't even have enough space to move around, and that's how like they get the eggs that you get. Okay, and that's torture. Like nobody should have to live like that. You get what I'm saying? Everybody should have like the right to be free and live their life freely, right? Even like meat and stuff. Like the animals, like they suffer so much. They're kept in like tight little cages, tight little spaces. You know, they go through so much depression, anxiety, stress, sadness, pain, and they're afraid, you know, they're not happy, you know, having to lose their life like that and be tortured like that. They're not happy with that. They're not happy living in those situations. They want to be free. Everybody has the right to be free. And why do you really eat meat and stuff like that? Like, it's because like you like the taste. Like, let's be honest, all right? Like, just for your taste buds, like, you let innocent living beings suffer. You get what I'm saying? You take away their lives just for your taste buds. How is that justice? How is that fair? You get what I'm saying? Like, nobody should have to like live like that, and nobody should have to like give up their life just for your taste buds, just because, oh, you like the taste of meat. Oh, it tastes so good. You don't want to go vegetarian or vegan, so you eat meat. Yeah, but seriously, it's not food. Like, meat is not food. Like, it's so backwards. Like, you know, like, you're not animals, man. You're human beings. Like, act like it. Actually be humans. Don't act like animals. You get what I'm saying? Like, everybody should have the right to live their lives. Nobody, like, okay, what if like tomorrow, right? There's like some like secret species of like, even more evolved, like, I don't know, some animal species or whatever that's even more powerful than humans and even smarter than humans, and they start like hunting humans and eating humans and factory farming humans. Would you support that? Of course not. But just because you think you're on top of the food chain and that nobody can eat you, you think it's right to do that to other living beings and innocent animals? That's wrong, yo. You know what I mean? That's not right. And life life is so short. Life is too short when you really think about it. So everybody should be allowed to live their lives and enjoy their lives with freedom. Because at the end of the day, yo, freedom is like really important. Like, you might not like think much about it, but trust me, freedom is like everything, you know? When you have your freedom, you can actually live your life. But without freedom, you can't even live your life, you know? And you guys just like take your freedom for granted, you know? But when it comes to like the animals, like you don't care about their freedoms, you know? You don't care about them. You don't go into the streets and protest for their lives and their rights, but you protest like nonsense things. You know what I mean? Like that's ridiculous, yo. You know what I mean? Like be a voice for the innocent animals who don't have a voice, you know? Stand up for like the like innocent living beings who can't stand up for themselves. That's what a true hero is. You know what I mean? You want to be a real superhero? Stand up for the innocent animals who can't stand up for themselves. You know what I mean? That's the real superhero stuff, yo. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you think Superman is all that because oh, some comic book, and you go like watch all these superhero movies and you think, oh my god, you want to be so cool like that. Oh, you want to save people, because you don't really care about saving people. You just want that credit. You want to like be seen as like that you're all that. Oh, that you're Superman. Oh, you're so cool. Everybody likes you. Everybody wants to be like you. That's why you want to be a superhero. You know, you're not actually a superhero deep down. Because if you actually cared about saving lives, you would go vegan or vegetarian and actually stand up for the innocent animals who don't have a voice. Get what I mean? But you don't really get credit for that. So you don't care to do it. But you want to be superhero when you see it in the movies. Because you're like, oh, they'll talk about you on the news channel. Oh, Superman saved this many people today. Oh, let's be like Superman. Everybody wants to be like Superman. Oh, Superman, can I get a selfie with you? Right? That's why you want to be superheroes. You're not actually a superhero. Deep down, you're not. You just want to like, oh, you're all noble and all that because you want the attention. That's the truth about it. Get what I'm saying? So yeah, if you want to be a real superhero, yo, you actually want to save lives for real, go vegan, go vegetarian, stand up for the innocent animals. You know, get what I mean? Be a voice for the innocent animals. Get what I'm saying? Be a real hero, yo. Not this like Hollywood, Bollywood nonsense superhero. You know, don't be a fake hero. Don't be a wannabe. Be a real hero. You know what I mean? Get what I'm saying? You don't even have to like do anything. All you have to do is stop eating meat and using animal products. That's all you have to do. And boom, you'll be a hero to billions and billions and millions and billions of lives around the world in the universe, aka the animals. They'll appreciate, you know, your efforts. You might be like, oh, you're just one person. How can you truly make a difference in like the lives of like all these animals and actually make a big difference? Look, every person counts. Okay? Like if you stop eating chicken, okay, let's say you eat chicken every day, okay? So let's say like you're eating one chicken every day, even if like it's just like 2 chicken wings or whatever, or 2 drumsticks or whatever, or 2 chicken thighs or chicken breasts or 1 chicken breast or 2 chicken breasts or whatever, or maybe you're eating the whole chicken. Doesn't matter. The point is, it takes at least 1 chicken's life to support you per day. Get what I'm saying? If you eat chicken every day, that's like 365 to 366 chickens per year, depending on if it's a leap year or not. Get what I'm saying? That's how many chickens have to be raised and kept in horrible situations and tight little places and be tortured and go through all that stress and depression and anxiety and pain and suffering just to be food on your plate. Get what I'm saying? Now let's say you stop eating chicken, you stop eating meat. I'm just using chicken as an example. It could be other animal products as well, like, you know, goat or whatever other animals you eat or whatever. Get what I'm saying? But I'm just keeping it simple, so I'm using just chicken as an example. So let's say you go vegetarian or vegan, right? Those like 300, like that's like extra 366 or 365 to 100 or 300, that's like extra 365 to 366 chickens per year that there's no extra demand for anymore. Get what I'm saying? So just because you're no longer eating that meat, like there's no demand for that many extra chickens. And now if everybody does their part and stops eating meat and animal products and goes vegetarian or vegan, like that effect compounds. and like there's like even higher number of like chickens and all that don't need to be slaughtered and kept in like such, you know, horrible situations and treated horribly and have to go through all the pain and suffering just to be food on your plate. Get what I'm saying? So because there'll be access of like all these chickens that, like, you know, the factory farming industries will be raising, but no one will be buying them, they'll realize, oh my god, it's costing them more than it's bringing in the profits. Like there's no profit, like this is just being wasted because nobody's buying all these like extra chickens and all that. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna cut down on their like production. Get what I mean? They're gonna cut down on the amount of chickens or other animals or whatever that they produce and reproduce per year. Get what I'm saying? Like the number goes down. Now, if everybody goes vegan and vegetarian, you know, then there's even less demand. There's like practically no demand, and they'll just be raising all these chickens and all that, and it's costing them money and it's not bringing in any additional profit, and they will eventually stop producing and reproducing all these animals for the meat market and the meat industries and all that, and the factory farming and all that will go away. Get what I'm saying? So it starts with everyone, you know, even one person can make a huge difference in cutting down on, like, you know, the suffering of animals and the amount of animals that have to go through that kind of suffering. You know what I mean? But if, like, get what I'm saying? Like, think about it. If you go vegetarian today or vegan today for a whole year, that's like 365 to 366 chickens that didn't have to be raised and killed, you know, and go through all that suffering just to be food on your plate. They'll cut down. They'll keep cutting down the numbers as the demand keeps going down. As there are more vegetarians and vegans, there won't be as much demand to raise all these like animals for like the meat market and the fur trade and like the other animal tested products and all that, because there will be no demand for these products and services. The demand won't be there, so there's no profit, and it'll just be costing, you know, these businesses endless amounts of money to raise and keep all these animal products and animals. And, you know, get what I'm saying? So they'll eventually realize it's not profitable, and they'll get over, like, they'll get out of these businesses. They'll stop doing it. I don't know. It's just something to think about, you know? You might think it's not enough if you alone become vegetarian or vegan, but in the grand scheme of things, the compounding effect of you alone quitting meat and animal products is like a really big deal. Think about it. 365 to 366 chickens per year if you alone go vegetarian or vegan. And then think about how many chickens you saved and how much less demand there will be for chicken, you know, in 2 years, you know, or 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. And then think like how many chickens you would have possibly saved and cut down on from like having to like go through all the suffering and pain in 10 years if you go vegetarian or vegan and you like do it for 10 years at least. Think about how many lives you would have saved, you know? Sure, you know, other people might not care about, you know, you doing that, and they might not think of you as someone special, or they might not see you as a superhero, but trust me, you'll be a real superhero, because you're actually making a true difference into the world. You know what I mean? So I don't know, it's just something to think about. So yeah, guys, go vegan, go vegetarian, you know what I mean? Just, yeah. And look, I get it, okay? Like, the marketing out there is like really intense, and it's like, oh, you need protein, you know, to live like a long, healthy life and all that, right? But look at it. Think about it like this. Can you really live forever? No, you cannot. Okay? Life is temporary. So no amount of protein in the world is gonna help you live forever. Okay, so it's all vain. It's all for nothing. All this suffering that these innocent animals go through, all this pain and suffering that these innocent animals go through, it's all for nothing. If you really, really think about it, it's all for nothing. Because at the end of the day, you might be eating all these like chickens and all that, thinking, oh, you need protein and it'll help you live forever, but it won't. It doesn't help you live forever. It doesn't. If anything, they say like meat causes cancer and all that. So what's the point? There is no point. It's just endless, nonsense like pain and suffering for innocent animals for no reason. You know what I mean? It's pointless. I mean, think about it. No amount of protein in the world is gonna help you live forever. So it's all for nothing. And you could get your protein through like other sources. Get what I mean? If you don't want to be vegan, you can still like maybe use like dairy products. You could go vegetarian and use dairy products, like if you're that concerned about getting protein. Get what I mean? Or you could go vegan. I'm sure there are also vegan sources of protein as well. Get what I mean?
3.
And yeah,
2.
I mean, I don't know, man. It's just something to think about. You know what I mean? I mean, everybody wants to be a hero, but like sometimes, like to be a hero, there is like some suffering involved as well. Maybe it's like the suffering of like having to eat like food that doesn't taste as great as maybe meat did, right? Or maybe it's like giving up on like, some protein a little bit. You know what I mean? Or some protein sources a little bit. Maybe you won't be able to get like, the exact same protein like that you get from animals, right? Because you'll have to give up meat.
Thank you for watching. Bye.
Will you get to live forever anyways? No. So giving up something that wouldn't help you last forever anyways, it's nothing if you really think about it. If they have vegetarian and vegan protein sources, eat those. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, I saw somewhere, like, rice and kidney beans has, like, the same amino profile as, like, chicken and meat. So, you get what I'm saying? You can have, like, rice and, kidney beans. They'll give you, like, the same amino profile as chicken and meat. There you go. There's a complete protein right there. I'm sure there's even more better sources of like complete protein and getting proper protein into your system, being vegan and vegetarian. But I'm just saying, okay? But yeah, it's just something to think about, guys. If you can, please go vegetarian or vegan and stand up for like the innocent animals and the innocent lives. And yeah, thank you. Bye.